Morning students, and welcome back to LKB online classes. Students, in our previous class we have learned about Sarojini Naidu, how she loves to write poems like her mother. She has written many poems to inspire our freedom fighters, and soon she joined the freedom struggle with our freedom fighter, and she met Gandhiji and other freedom fighters. She is sent to jail by British rulers because she was following the freedom fighters and she was with them in their struggle. And later she became the first woman president of India, and after that she became the first woman governor of Uttar Pradesh in independent India. This was the story of Sarojini Naidu. So students, now I want to ask you some questions. You have to note down the question and find your answers. My first question is, list 2 contributions of Sarojini Naidu. So you have to find out which contribution Sarojini Naidu has done for our society. Second, can Sarojini Naidu be considered as social reformer? Give reason why. So this was my 2 questions. Now today we'll talk about more great personalities. Before starting learning about them, first I'll show you one picture of one great personality. Later we will discuss on it. So students, have you seen the picture? Do you know who was he? He was the great scientist C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman was the famous physicist who was awarded the Nobel Prize for his discovery called Raman effect. So before learning the contribution of C.V. Raman in science, we'll learn about his life. One of the greatest scientists of India, C.V. Raman's contribution to science was remarkable, and he was born in Tamil Nadu. Young Raman always liked to study and science was his favorite subject. He was a person who loved to teach science and learn science. He made the science subject very interesting. When he grew up, he became scientist. He spent lot of time doing experiments in the science lab. Raman was a science professor in a college. As a teacher, he was giving interesting lesson, which he called performance, and students loved his lecture. He made that science subject that much interesting that everyone wants to learn science. He became the first Indian to win the Nobel Prize in Science in the year 1930. Later, C.V. Raman awarded the Nobel Prize for his discovery called Raman effect in the year 1990. And in the year 1998, the Raman effect would design the National Historic Chemical Landmark by the American Chemical Society. So, Indian as well as Americans also respected C.V. Raman in the field of science because he has done a great discovery in science which is called Raman effect. Raman effect was the discovery tool for analyzing the comparison of liquid, gases and solids. So he was that much famous scientist that every scientist knowing him very well because he was the famous personality in the field of science. So this was the story of C.V Raman. Now today we will learn about one more great personality. Do you know who is she? She was also a great freedom fighter. Do you know her name? Okay, first I will show you the picture and later you will tell me the name. So students, have you seen the picture? Do you know who was she? She was a great freedom fighter who born in Punjab. Her name was Aruna Asaf Ali. Aruna Asaf Ali was a freedom fighter and national leader. She was called Grand Old Lady of Independence for her bravery because at old age she was not sitting at home and doing nothing. She was fighting for freedom of her nation. So because of this contribution, she was known as Grand Old Lady of the Independence. Contribution of Aruna Asaf Ali was earlier working as a teacher at Kolkata before joining India's freedom struggle. Her husband Asif Ali was also a freedom fighter. She began the Quit India movement by hoisting the Indian national flag at the Gwalior Tank Maidan, Mumbai. She was old lady, but she was that much powerful that she hoisted Indian national flag and began the Quit Indian movement. At the old age, she was powerful and she was fighting for her nation. Earlier, she was working as a teacher, so she knows the value of freedom and good life. So soon she joined her husband in freedom struggle and she also became a freedom fighter. So today we have learned about two great personalities. One, C.V Raman, who was contributed in the field of science and make the science interesting for everyone. And second, Aruna Asaf Ali, who given us message that age is not matter when you want to do something. She fought at old age for her country and she was known as Grand Old Lady of Independence. So these one scientist and one freedom fighter will learn about them. Student, now you have to complete the checkpoints which given on the basis of story of C.V Raman and Aruna Asaf Ali. These two checkpoints you have to complete, and tomorrow we'll learn about one more great personality.